In October 2019, I started this YouTube channel. I made 100 videos and I got 2 subscribers. This is my YouTube journey. Hello, Slump people, and my name is Trey, and I am a curious creative that believes that progress is a process. And like I said, I made this channel in 2019, October, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I just wondered. So I thought, hey, just try it. So I started an account, and someone said somewhere that you should make 100 videos because your first ones are going to be crap, and that is very true. And so I made 100 videos, not very good videos, and in the course of that year, I got 2 subscribers. And then because of the worldwide pandemic and my mother had some health issues and other things going awry, I stopped posting on YouTube. And then late last year, 2023, I thought, so do you want to just drop this YouTube thing or do you want to continue? And I thought, well, sure, why not? Let's give it another go. And so this is going to be a review of my data and analytics of YouTube, but also what I have learned on this YouTube journey. So let's take a look at the numbers. We're looking at the YouTube backend or some screenshots of it. Because I started taking screenshots to record the data for my own use, but let's see what we're looking at, right? We have over on this far right, YouTube Studios, which is the back end of YouTube, channel image, name, and then this list of places we can go, dashboard, content, analytics. Analytics is the most important right here. And then on the far right hand side, we have the last 28 days. So we're going to be looking at mostly the end of the month. What are the metrics? This is all data. So last 28 days. And then we have the subscriber count right here. And then below that, we have the views in the last 48 hours, the top content from this period, and then the latest thing that you've uploaded. So when you upload a video, and then after when the data comes in, it'll be here for the week. I was posting every day, but we'll get to that. But the new content or the latest thing uploaded will be here with its metrics. And right down the center, we have the main channel analytics. So it tells you what you got in the last 28 days, the views, watch time in hours, and subscriber number again. And then this graph. And these little ticks are when you upload. So every day, if you're uploading every day, you'll see a tick every day. Uploading once a week, have this little icon for each week. And the number of views. And then below that, your top content. I usually do the top 5, top 7. I take a look at that when I take the screenshot. And it does, the views, your average view duration, and all of that. So that is how we read the data in YouTube. So the first hurdle I wanted to overcome was this camera, right? This camera, it's unnatural for a person to look at a camera and speak to it. And I was having an issue with that. So I thought, okay, so I want you to sit down and film a video for 3 minutes every day for the month of January 2024. And so that's what I did at the very start of this year. And it was quite successful. So let's look at that data for the end of the month of January 2024. And this is all the days I posted. And this is all the data that I got. On January 1st, I had 4 subscribers. And then I got another 3 more within this 28-day frame. Was a total of 7 subscribers. And so the first month about was just me trying to figure out reading the data and getting better at posting every day consistently for 3 minutes talking to the camera. I got 130 views. The watch time in hours is 2.6. And again, 3 subscribers. Bottom of these is 90 more than usual, because I hadn't posted anything more or less in 2023. 180% more than the previous 28 and 200% more than the previous 28. So you got these metrics. And so we're going from a cold start to trying to get running again. And then down here, the top 5 are some of my older stuff, which is the books I loved, Kung Fu Panda, Capcom Design Works. That's still within this top 10. And then some new things. The 27th, I made a video, the Happy New Year's. And the 24th, this one was about death. This was about life's purpose. And those actually charted, but it wasn't much. I was starting pretty much from zero. So this was the basis of what I had to go from. And that was the month of January 2024. And then at the start of February, I was watching YouTube and somebody was talking about like the basics of art. And being an artist, I was like, you know what? I should make a boot camp. Because every year in about January, February, I make a boot camp just to polish my skills and brush up on some things, because I can kind of, feel my energy slumping at the end of the year. And it's a great time in the new year to polish some things up. So again, I was like, okay, 28 days, I'll do 28 days of an artist boot camp. And I did that. And in the course of that, about day 14, Valentine's Day, I started to notice that my view count and my subscriber numbers were starting to move. And so this is February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I had noticed something unusual. This is the first time I realized, oh crap, I went from 7 to 14. So 7 to 14. And this is from doing my daily boot camp uploads. I didn't even realize that happened. So now this is the analytics for the end of February 29th. And the subscriber count, it was at 46 with 625 views, 15 watch hours, 39 subscribers. And this is the top 7. And they were all from that month of February for the boot camp. So the artist boot camp did pretty well. And of note, day 6. And sometimes you don't know why things happen the way they happen. Like, I don't know why day 6, why day 6 of all the days was the one that got to 100. And this is the first 100 view video I saw on my channel. And that was pretty cool. Now, I knew I couldn't sustain that everyday posting schedule. So then I dropped it down to, I think it was at the time, twice a week. And I kind of had an identity crisis about what to make. I had some ideas, but I wasn't quite sure. So it was me testing out new things. And by the end of March, so March 29th, is when I took this screenshot. And at the time, we're at 407 views. Watch time, 14.6. And the subscriber count is 16, but it had gone down from the previous high of 39. So it takes stats like that, but the total subscriber count was 63 at that point. And the top 6 was, I still had some boot camp stuff, but it was now a mixture of things, which was kind of cool. But nothing in the hundreds. So I had come down back to earth, and you can see that from this graph. So yes, highs and lows of YouTube, that's just going to happen. That's just a part of YouTube. Okay, now we're into April 25th, when I took this screenshot. And at that time, 288 views, 12 0.4 watch time hours, and 5 subscribers to bring us up to the grand total of 71 subscribers. And this one, this simple how to draw simple heads, got 200 views. And that was my first 200. And this is also a bit unusual for YouTube. That this is the latest video I released, and these are the metrics for it. But they're different from the metrics on this part, which says it's number 1 still, but it has 64 views, while this one has 201 views. And I don't know enough about YouTube and how they count things to know why, but that just seems to be how YouTube does it. Not sure why. And so yeah, that was my first 200 video. And next in April 30th, I took another video because I was continuing a series, and it had moved up to this simple heads, moved up to 317. But the subscriber count stayed mostly the same. So let's move on to May 23rd. Sorry, May 23rd was the last screenshot I took of this, and we were up to 943 views. Watch time hours 24.9. Subscriber went up by 27 to bring our total to 95 subscribers. And as you can see, that simple heads drawing, that it not only stayed high, it went higher. So it went from, I think, 300. Ooh, nice. 317 to 531. And I continue with that series on how to draw heads. So I went from simple heads to a more complex head. And that also got into the low hundreds. It's like not bad. And so I'm trying to figure things out in how to make videos and what, series is pretty good, but series I don't think can go on for too long, but that's just something I learned in the course of this. So then June 24th, June 24th, we are up to 360 views, 12.6 watch time hours. Subscriber is +9, but it has gone down from the previous 28 days. And the grand total for subscribers was 104. And this is when I started the summer months, the summer study for anatomy. Because I knew I was going to be in and out of the office. And I wanted something that I could do pretty predictably, pretty reliably. And I chose to summer study. And this heads are still pretty high. The simple heads has dropped in the 28 days, but this how to draw heads was still in the 108 views. And now, let's move on to July 30th. The view count was 354. Watch time hours is 9.5. Subscribers was +7. Again, down from the previous month. The real time, subscribers was 113. And we have a new number 1 in the Vasilisa Baba Yaga process video, which was in the 104 views for that week. And it's a mixture of things, but this was the highest for that month. So moving on to August. August 27th was the last screenshot I took. At that time, 454 views. Watch time hours for the month for this 28-day period is 11. Subscribers was a +10, which is up from the previous month. And the total of subscribers was 123. And I had also noted that when I finally hit the 100 subscribers, I was like, woohoo! You celebrate your victories when you can get them. I was doing the summer study, and this foot anatomy, and I don't know why, this foot anatomy summer study video got 184 views. I thought the whole series would do pretty well. But I'm not sure why the foot, right? Because I did a hand one, and I thought surely the hands would be of more interest to artists than the feet. I can't, some things you can't explain with YouTube. I don't know. I just found that unusual. So now September is when things start to get pretty interesting, and I've taken more screenshots of this month. On September 12th, How to Draw Comics, the Marvel Way Books I Love series, because I really love that book. And I was going to start a series of ink practice using this as some key takeaways for doing that. And that really, well, we'll get to that. But the views was 169, which again is different than this one because it's number 2 here. Maybe this is more up to date than this, but anyways. So this one has the foot anatomy still as number 1 with 60 views. Well, this one has over here 58. Well, over here it's 269, but other than that, up top we have 342 views. Watch time hours 11.8. Subscriber number is a +5, down from the previous 28 days. And the total subscriber number is 129. And then I took another screenshot at the end. So September 30th, and How to Draw the Marvel Way, the Books I Love, is at 539 views. So it continued to go up. And we have the views as 1,300. The watch time hours is 47.5. And the subscriber number is a +25. So it went from a +5 to a I guess 20, if we include that 5. And for the subscriber number is now 148. Was a good month because the Books I Love series, 539, but also 2 others are in the low hundreds. The Inking Materials, number 2, and then had to do a Comic Basic page, removing blue lines and comic formatting in Clip Studio Paint, was 194. And I was like, nice. So I was starting to see some movement. And so next, we've got 2 from October. And this is where I started to learn the importance of thumbnails. I'd always heard thumbnails, concentrate on them, do them properly. Don't just chop up a screenshot and then just drop it in there willy-nilly. I have done, but think about the thumbnail, think hard. And this is when it started to click for me, that thumbnail idea. So the total views for the 28 days was 1,200. Watch time was 52.4. And subscriber number was +26 to bring the total subscriber number to 175. The most recent one I published was this ink practice, Quiet Hulk Thor, and had 35 views. Books I Love, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, was at number 4 at 66, so it has come down. But others are staying high. So I made an ink practice. When I started the ink practice, it was at 406 views, and 2 others in the low hundreds. And then the last screenshot of the October was October 29th, just before Halloween. And I was, I think, still doing 2 videos a week. And the view count was 1,400. Watch time 69.1. Subscriber +36. So from 26 to 36. So an addition of 10 more, making it 189. And the Quiet Hulk Thor video is now in the 217. And still like 1 video in the 507 and 2 others in the low hundreds. So I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. And that leads us to November. And November was very interesting. So let's make a note that this subscriber was 189 at the end of October 29th. By November 5th, it was 217. I was like, okay, that's interesting, because the subscriber, it was a plus 66 from 36 to 66. So I was like, oh, okay. This inking series is really starting to take. And so that makes the views at this time 2,000, watch time 93.5, and subscribers that plus 66. I had that made a new video that was at 227. While over here it says 212. But anyways, but there's two in the mid 500s. And this newest video was at 212. So yeah, the inking one, it seems that the audience really liked, well, I wouldn't say really liked it, but they liked it enough that the view numbers was going up. So that was interesting. Taking us to November 12th. So from the 5th was 217 to 265 subscriber in a span of a week, I believe. And so that took the views from 3,300, watch time hours 140.9, and subscribers plus 100. While the last week was plus 66 to plus 101. And yeah, I was catching that groove. And this was the first time with this wrap-up video, ink practice wrap-up, where I hit the thousands. And I was like, it blew my little mind. So yes, this one video was the first of my videos to break the 1,000. It says 1,300 over here, or 1,162 in this number one spot. But also 2 others in the mid 500s, and then 2 more in the low hundreds. And that had never happened before for my channel. And I was like, I had to pat myself on the back. But also, this wrap-up video that's in the number one spot, I knew that this thumbnail was a killer. I knew it. From when I took the picture, I was like, this is going to make a good thumbnail. And this is what cemented for me the idea that thumbnail, yes, if you can make a good thumbnail, yeah. And so that, that was one of the kernels that now sits in my mind. If I can get a good thumbnail. Don't just think of it at the end. Try to think hard about your thumbnail. So the next week, 18th, the 18th of November, we are at 4,000 views. Watch time is 195.2, and subscribers is plus 126 from 101 the previous week, which brings us into the 300s. So in this month alone, I had jumped from from October 29th, I was at 189 to 301 by November 18th. And at this point, I'm kind of geeking out. I'm like, what in the world? After seeing low numbers, I was just, after all the previous videos, and I had gotten used to a certain rhythm, and then seeing this was just different. And so, yeah, the number one is still number one. It actually went up, I believe, right? Yep, from 1,162 to 1,918. That ink practice wrap up. 2 more in the mid 500s and 2 more in the low hundreds. And then the newest video was 67 or 56, as it shows up here. But yeah, that was interesting. And then the week after, so this was November 18th, November 26th, which is the last screenshot of this month. 4,400 views. Watch time hours is 208.9, 208.9. Subscribers is plus 40 from the plus 26 of the previous week to make 329. And again, it just kept going up. This is the first 2,000. That same ink practice. So it usually they go up. When they drop it. Well, for my channel, when they drop, it's the highest number, and then it goes down from there. But this one kept climbing, and I don't know if it was the thumbnail or the content within. I'd like to think it's both, but hey. But yeah, it kept climbing from week to week. So this is the third week on an increase, which is new for me. And that was 2,491. 2 others in the mid 500s, and 2 more in the low 100s. And then that ends the rapid growth of November. And then we come back to Earth with December 9th. It was 2,800 views, 148.8 watch time hours, and subscribers is a plus 39, which is down from the previous week. And that brings the subscriber numbers to 347. And yeah, the number 1 ink practice wrap up is now starting to decrease. So the numbers are coming back to Earth, but it's still 1,650. And I have now 3 in the low hundreds, 3 videos in the low hundreds, all ink videos, interestingly enough. And the newest one that I just released that week was 78. And that brings us to the last week in this review, December 16th, where it's, well, let's do the views is 1,900 views, 86 watch time hours, and plus 56, which is down from the previous, because we're coming back down to normalcy. And yes, the ink practice wrap up is 1,054 views. So we're coming down. And 2 others in the low hundreds and others below that. And that is the monthly tally of how my YouTube journey, like what I have charted. So let's talk about some key takeaways or key points. All right, so what did I learn from YouTube? What are the lessons I take away from this first year on YouTube? Well, this is gonna sound pretty corny, but mastering videos and mastering self. It's yeah, it's weird, but videos, it's a whole number of things that are needed to make a video. The equipment and just me figuring out how to talk to a camera was something. And now, being consistent and thumbnails, there's just a lot of stuff that I still don't know that I'm trying to get better at. And so, yeah, mastering videos. And that's going to take a lot of time, but we'll get there. But also mastering self. It's one of those, you don't feel like it or you're tired and it's like, oh, I got to film today. And now I'm trying to make scripts because, I can ramble and I know I can. So I'm trying to think about, okay, next year, let's think about writing more scripts. Let's figure out what we're going to say and do before we do it. And we can, improvise within that, but, have a framework to work from. So yeah, mastering video, mastering self. Also thinking about your audience. My audience in my head is just a younger me, and, trying to tell myself what I would like to have known, upon reflection of the passage of time. It's like, if I could have helped a younger me be a better artist and just a better person and all of that in general, it would have been nice. So that's what I try to think about. Know myself, know the audience, and I'm trying to think of like other slices of the audience. Like, okay, me is me, but what about other people? What if they want to know such and such in this topic? Or is there a way I can frame it that a person that is outside can understand the concepts I'm talking about? Stuff like that. So yeah, trying to know your audience. And then making things and articulating your ideas. Making things as in what kind of video I'm going to make. It's like, sometimes you just draw a blank. And then, the first year I just wanted, don't think about views or subscribers. Just think about the data. Try to figure out, okay, am I good at this? And then where can I improve? It's like, oh, okay, the audience likes such and such. So maybe, like, for example, in a drawing series like the Artist Bootcamp, it seemed like the audience likes the very basics more than the intermediate and the higher levels, which I can kind of understand, because more people, a larger pool of people are coming from okay, how do I draw? And the basics is an important, thing that you got to go through to get to the intermediate and the higher levels of learning. So, you try to figure out, okay, so that's something I can think about in the making of things. And articulating ideas, like when you have to film it and you're talking, and sometimes it can make sense in your head, but does it make sense when you say it? And so yeah, it's a process that we gotta go through, but it has been a learning experience, and I rather enjoy it. It's I like it more than I thought I would. I like to draw anyway, so I knew that would be fine. Like, that's my favorite moments is just drawing. The chopping it up, that's the challenge. But I found out, okay, so this thing I do like doing. So where do we go from here? I'm not sure. I'd like to be more structured. I'd like to be shorter, get the videos down to, I'm hoping for 10 to maybe 20 minutes, like tops. See if I can do that for a year. But yeah, these are some of the lessons. And I'm glad that in this first year that I just tried to focus on the data. Because yeah, man, YouTube, it can mess with your mind. If you tie yourself to views and subscriber numbers, and I was like, you don't know what's gonna happen, because you hear, the stories of, hey, I made this many subscribers in 2 days and whatnot. And you're like, okay, that's not me at all. and that's okay. I already knew the niches that do really well, like with the idea that health, wealth, and fitness and relationships do phenomenal on YouTube. Like, if you want numbers and to make those fast, those would be the sectors you go for. But as an art channel, and I'm just drawing stuff and trying to articulate how I do things and why I do things and how to improve to others, I knew it would be a journey. And so that's why I'm sort of making this video. But it has been very interesting. And we'll see where we go from here. And so that was my YouTube journey. And this is the year 2024. And This is the last video, I believe, for 2024. And so I will see you. Well, I gotta do my signature sign off, right? I have been Trey Hodges. You can find my work at treyhodges.com. And this is the end of 2024. And I'll see you in 2025. Take care, keep shining, power to the creator. Later. Oh boy. Making videos is neat.